I did I did not remember to push record until about 30 minutes into the class, and we had had such good conversation, and it happens every now and again, but today I was going to remember to push record. So if you watch the videos on YouTube, Friday's class was only 28 minutes because of that. But and I'm just going to walk open and close and get warmed up while I talk. The Mr. Lance Hall, he is in that advanced class, and he's from Adairsville, and he shared about cross-lateral movement and what that does for your brain. So, we talk so much about falls prevention and strengthening our leg muscles and the ability to hold our weight on one leg and how we do that. We talk about engaging our core. We talk about posture. We always refer back to principles because that's what we're supposed to do. As an instructor, that's, what I'm supposed to teach y'all through principles. And but there's more to Tai Chi than just these basic principles of the movement control, body structure, and internal. And part of that internal experience is our brain and the way we move cross-laterally. And by that, I mean when we do something with our left foot and then something with our right hand, that movement may look familiar in our knee warm up, even with play the lute, we're doing a cross-lateral movement that works our brain. And so when we work our brain, then we start warding off memory issues. And it may ward off dementia. It may ward off Alzheimer's. I know it's a lot more complicated than that, those diseases, but there's no doubt that when we do Tai Chi, we are working our brains like crazy, and the cross-lateral movement is a next level of using our brains. And so I'm going to be doing research about that. He brought it to our attention on Friday, and it just blew my mind whenever I started thinking about how many times in our Tai Chi movement we move cross-lateral. One thing with our left and the other with our right. And we've even talked about how difficult it is to do that warm-up knee movement where we step out left and punch right at the same time, or lift, tap and punch, that cross-lateral. Well, I always talk about it being a counterbalance to keep us from falling, but another reason why it's difficult is because it works our brain to have to move two different sides of our bodies at the same time. So always feel free to share knowledge that you think is applicable to the movements that we do, to the work that we do in Tai Chi. Even if it's just one step off topic, if it's something that you think we can benefit from, you have the open floor to share, because I don't know everything there is to know. And I'm always open to learning new things. And we all have different backgrounds. So it's great when we can bring our minds together in one place and share and learn and get better for it. So yay, we're learning something new. That excites me in life whenever I learn something. Never have I, well, the last time I knew everything, I think I was 16. That was the last time I knew everything. And then the older, and then as you get older, you realize you just really don't know that much. And some days you're like, I don't know anything at all. So that's a big turn that we make somewhere in life. Some people never realize that they don't know everything. And those are the most exhausting adults. But y'all know where I'm going with that, right? right, so let's get started with our warm-ups. Getting in our nice stable stance with our upright posture, holding no tension, especially in our shoulders and neck. We have a soft bend in our knee. Probably be hard to see the soft bend in my elbows today with this shirt, so just trust that I have that soft bend there. I'm breathing, and I have a goal of to continue to breathe through my movements, but to check in and make sure I'm not holding my breath. Starting with our neck. Following those hands all the way down, you should feel a nice stretch in the back of your neck. Keep these movements intentional as you come up and towards and push out, entering gentle resistance as you feel comfortable. Neck exercise, looking towards that shoulder, back to center and switching. Continuing to breathe at your own pace. My goal is to typically do 3 on each side, but I get stuck on these neck ones because they just feel so good. The only thing bad about doing more is that we have other things to do. So you can do this another time in your day. Roll our shoulders, starting forward, which feels a little bit awkward, and then roll those shoulders back. Another one that feels good because it's like a massage you give yourself. Big shoulder circle, hands up and push down. To our spine, have our ball, separate, push up and down, stretching that spine. Back to our ball and switch. Inhale and exhale as you push, if that makes sense for you. We all breathe at different times and paces, depending on our lungs. But I like to inhale as I come to my ball, exhale as I separate, and I feel like I can get a deeper stretch as I exhale. I've inhaled pollen because I feel like I'm fixing to sneeze. All that inhaling got that yellow powder up my nose. Drifted up the stairs from outside. I know y'all see all that outside. All right, side to side. Short trip. Not going as far as we can, staying within our frame. Engaging your core muscles as you move side to side is one option. Now to our lower body. So let's shift our weight to one leg. Heel forward, hands back. Pause in the middle and toe back, hands forward. Being conscious of your posture and staying upright, not leaning. Remember that toe going back like a kickstand helps with our balance. But if you ever need to hold a chair and skip these arm movements, that's fine. It's these leg movements that are most important. Let's shift to the other side. Heel forward, hands back. Pause. See Patrick this weekend in Cuthbert. And he got to play in a game. That was exciting to see. That was the first time that he got to play. And he played again yesterday. He played in the field and got the at-bat. He got to hit the ball.
Right.
I don't know how much baseball y'all speak, so I don't want to say something and y'all be like, what crap is she talking about? He got an at-bat. Because we've been doing baseball a long time, and there's still some things people say, and I'm like, what are they talking about? I don't know what that is. So I try not to be the person that says stuff that people don't understand. Yesterday, Patrick said that he got a ball in the field. And I said, well, what did you do with it? Like, did you just get it and just stand there? He said, I made the play. And I said, good. Come on, give Mama all the information now. I'm not there. All right, here's our cross lateral movement opportunity with our knees, where we shift the weight, lift, tap and punch, bring it back, shift, lift. So he's a real college baseball player now. It is official, and that's really exciting.
Yeah.
It wasn't but a year ago, it was just a dream, and this mama was just so nervous that her baby wasn't going to have the opportunity. So I'm just so relieved, because I worried about him. I didn't know who he was without baseball, and I don't know if he knows it either.
Mm-hmm.
How cool is that, that we're moving cross lateral, and that's making our brains like shoot all these like wonderful things. I don't know what it is. I still have research to do. Step forward, shift, and seems like they're called synapses. All those good neurons and things happening in our brains as we're asking our body to move in complicated ways. So yes, we're getting stronger muscles. We're getting more mobility. Through our stretches, more flexibility. Through all the weight shifting, we learn a lot of stamina. If you think the very first time with Tai Chi, it may have been a little bit more exhausting than it is now. And that, improves the stamina of doing these exercises, shifting weight from one leg to another. All right, ankles. But, to get all those benefits and also help our brain, like this is just, Tai Chi is way cooler than I even originally thought.
Mm.
I know it works our brain as we try to remember what's next as we're going through the movements. Y'all know it really worked my brain when I was trying to do mirror image. I just it all apart. Nora last week in the afternoon class, she helped, we sat and went through that, and she helped me make some realizations, and so I think I'll be a better instructor for it now. So, but we're going to be turning around because that seems to be a class favorite. But you know that there are times when we have to show the front. So just in case, you know, you need help remembering what your hands are doing, because once I turn around, you can't really see them. You know, we can turn around and I can do it mirror image. So that may help you to do it that way. So I can go back to mirror image now that I understand what that computer's doing. So let's go through all of our movements, just basic 6 and advanced 6. It's a good way to test ourselves to see what we need to work on. All right, get you some good breaths, reminder of body structure and no tension. And scooch over this way a little bit. Okay, and commence. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Close. We'll scoot over here to go through our advanced movements, talking you through. Brush knee. Play the loop. Carry punch. Lock and close. Push the tiger. Open, close. Brush knee. Play the loop. Parry punch. Lock and close. Push the tiger. To the front. Open, close. Close it out. Did any of that tell you what you needed to work on?
Yeah.
It gives
I
you
would
some
think.
those moments when it doesn't you said the whole thing. That's okay. That's where I am right now in part 2. It's been so long since I've been doing part 2, and I have a class that's ready to learn it. So I'm having to read, practice, and make sure I'm doing all the pieces and parts right. So you feel good about part one. Mr. Ken, you feel pretty good about that? Commencement, single whip, open close.
Well, it's still. I need to do some extra work on my own on that.
Right.
So I may be a quarter of the way.
Well, good. That's a great place to be. I mean, my goodness, we're only on week 8.
I think so too.
Dr. Lamb,
There you go. 25% of the way.
yes.
Huh?
Dr. Lamb says that you will feel awkward for about 3 or 4 months. Well, that's the whole first class. That's the whole first time you take a class. So he's expecting everyone to feel awkward when they first start. It's movements that we just don't do a lot. And so some of the key things is practice, right? It's just practice. And then when you do practice, to break down those movements. So you can do just
Yes.
so when you talk about commencement, just your footwork.
Yes.
Shift right, step left, shift left, step right. You know, we didn't even worry about what was going on with our hands. We just practiced the footwork. Step, shift, and forward. So we get a feel for that. Weight shift, empty step, not that immediate weight shift. Then we shift the weight. Then we bring that foot forward. Then we adjust, and now we have weight on both legs. So just practicing the feeling of weight shift as we step. Shift, step, adjust. Because, you know, if we think about just stepping forward, just regular walking, we just put our foot out there and keep going. We're just hoping for the best. So it's a whole different type of movement when you do Tai Chi, in that you shift, that slow movement, step empty, no weight, then give it weight, bring that foot forward. So that style of stepping is very new and different once you start Tai Chi. Then you think about those arm movements of, okay, my hands are going to face each other the whole time. Now with Tai Chi, our hands face each other often or pass each other. And that is, we're kind of playing with energy there. And so in our commencement move, our hands face each other the whole time. We can add a little wrist movement, and we come up, down, in, up. So breaking down and just doing that hand movement and feeling what that feels like to be slow, smooth, continuous. Up, down. It's almost like your hands are floating up and down and in and up. So it's that smoothness of the movement that feels like they're floating. And just practicing that style of movement, just your hands. You can even do that seated without anything going on with your feet. Then you start putting 2 parts together. So when you first start, there's no weight. There's nothing happening with your legs when your hands come up. But when your hands come down is when you shift to that right foot. And that's what I want you to start connecting throughout our Tai Chi movements, as what's going on with my hand at the same time something's going on with my leg. And here is a weight shift. So hands come down and I shift right. This is my right. Do that one. Up, down, right. So that's putting 2 upper body and lower body. That's putting those 2 movements together. You're not even moving on. Like you've sat there and you've practiced shift, step, shift. You've practiced all the lower body. Then you've practiced the upper body. And now you start putting it together. Up, down, and shift. See what that feels like? Just that one move to shift weight as the hands go down, and then start adding to it. Here is the weight shift in the hands, weight shift as the hands go out, right foot forward, hands come back, open, close. So the hands come back. I use that as that time to adjust weight, to have weight on both legs. So breaking it down just your feet, breaking it down just your upper body, and then putting them together, but just a little bit at the time, and adding it together that way. And that's a really good way to practice. Get you through that commencement, get you feeling real good about that, and then go, oh, I love this next movement, open and close. So just know all the words that I say to y'all as I go through the movements describing what we're doing, that's what I'm saying inside of my head when I'm doing the Tai Chi moves. Not when I practice for myself, but when I teach you in class, I'm still saying the stuff in my head so that I can have those proper pauses to give you time to follow and stay with me. For instance, on that single whip, we have shift, step, adjust weight, push, turn, separate, eyes follow the left hand. Okay, so that's what I'm saying inside my head. So shift, step, adjust weight, push, turn, separate, eyes follow left hand. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Now let me do it without saying the words. I'm saying them quietly. So that looked a little bit choppy in comparison to let me do it just how I would do it if I were practicing single whip. See how that was a little more smooth? Let me do it facing you, the single whip to the right. So there was that smoothness to it. Did I still shift the weight? Yes. Did I still step empty? Yes. Did I adjust weight? Yes. Did I push, turn, separate? Yes, I did all the movements, but because I know them, because I've been practicing all those movements, now it's a little more smooth. So that adjust the weight part, where I give weight to that front leg, happens at the same time that I push those hands out. And so that just comes with time and practice. That's our goal, is to really have that slow, smooth nature of our movements, but we only get there by learning the movements in a choppy way. So if it's helpful for you to say the words of what your body is doing, do that. What if you don't know or remember what you're supposed to be doing? What are the words that you're supposed to say? Well, I love these posters, and I love to write stuff on these posters and put on the wall. And so you could literally write it out, and it could be there and be your brain for you. And then that's always helped me, is to write stuff and have it in front of me, because I'm a visual person. I learn best through visuals. And so that's just kind of those helper cheater notes. Just to give you an idea of something that could help you. So let's go through our basic 6 again, and I'm going to talk you through it. So just basic 6. And commence, hands come up, down, shift right. Step left, hands come in and up. Shift left as those hands go out. Right foot forward, hands come back, Just wait, open and close. Single whip. Shift left, step right, adjust wait. Push, turn, separate, eyes follow that left hand. Shift left, bring that right foot, right hand back, waving hands and clouds. Step, switch, turn, shift, 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 step, switch, turn. To the middle for open and close. Single whip. Shift right, step left, adjust wait. Push, turn, separate, eyes following your right hand. Shift right, bring that left foot, left hand back. Waving hands in clouds. Step, switch, turn, shift, 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 step, switch, turn, and to the middle for open and close. And close it out. So that was the slowest possible way I could talk you through all of those movements. Well, I probably could do it slower, but that was taking my time through each one. I didn't combine a step and a switch. I did one thing at the time. And so when you do it that slowly, learn it and then make it a little more smooth with practice. All right, let's do it again. And commence. Up, down, shift right. Step left, hands come in and up. Shift left as they go out, right foot forward, hands come back, open, close. Single whip. Shift, step, adjust, push, turn, separate, eyes following left. Shift, right foot, right hand back, waving hands in clouds. Step and switch. Turn, shift, step and switch, 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 turn, hands to the middle for open and close. Single whip, shift right, step left, adjust wait. Push, turn, separate, eyes following your right hand. Shift right, left foot, left hand back, waving hands in clouds. Step and switch, turn, shift, 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 step and switch, turn, and to the middle for open and close. Close it out. That was a little faster that time, right? We combined a little movements that time. This time I'll call out just the names of the movement. And commence. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open, close. Close it out. All right, let's do it again. No talking. And commence. Open, close. Oops, sorry. My mouth just gets away from me sometimes. How's it going? Is it getting easier and easier, Mr. Ken?
I think so. It seems like it is, but I
Good.
keep second guessing myself.
That's all part of learning.
Good. Everything. I think so too. I took keto several years ago, and it's the same concept of muscle memory.
Yes.
So this is certainly exciting.
Well, good. I'm glad. It's nice to be challenged. You know, if we just get stuck in the same old, and we never
Yes.
ourselves, then we can't grow. And you know, I've been doing these same movements for a long time, and it's fun to explore them in a new way. And the cross lateral stuff has me excited to think about all the times we do cross lateral movement. And you know, when we do that single whip and we step right and we watch that left hand, that's cross lateral. And it's wild how I never really thought about how many times we moved cross lateral throughout Tai Chi. And so that was exciting for me to go, oh, wow, that's a new way of thinking of it. You know, I was kind of in this gentle resistance experience, especially with our advanced movements, thinking of soft and hard. And so with brush knee, there's a softness when we start and get ready to push. And so there's that softness to the start, soft. And then here we go hard as we push. Soft as we transition, hard as we shift weight. Parry punch, soft in the transition, hard as we push and transfer weight. Soft, hard, soft, hard, soft, hard. And that lends itself to gentle resistance. But when you practice and you think soft, there's that softness and lightness to the movement. And then you think hard and you use that resistance. You're going yin and yang as you do the Tai Chi. then it's a dynamic experience. As you think, soft, hard, soft, hard, as you transition weight and push, open, close. So I've been kind of really playing around with gentle resistance, and then, you know, you're not going to go hard the whole time. You're not going to have resistance the whole time. I mean, that would wear you out. It's the experience of tension or resistance or harsh, hard, you know, push and transfer weight. And then the softness, going back and forth, that makes it a really cool experience. But you don't have to do the Tai Chi thinking about that. That's just where I've been. Hadn't even considered cross lateral movement and how often we do that. I mean, you might just think about your posture, or if you're even breathing as you go through the movements. You know, are you keeping those open joints? You know, any of our principles you can consider as you go through the movements to get a different experience. So let's talk through our advanced movement, starting with brush knee. And, you know, we're going to work more and more with our advanced movements. Not that we're going to leave our basic 6 behind. We'll always come back to it, but we're going to start talking more about, for the rest of the 16 weeks, our advanced movements in all the ways we can experience it. But we want to first make sure that we're doing the movements correctly. So with our advanced movements, we go to the left first, and then we go and do them all to the right. So it begins with brush knee, and we're coming from open and close. So our hands are facing each other here. We're going to shift left, and we're going to bring that right toe in. So when we bring that right toe in, our right hand is going to reach out. And when our right hand reaches out, just by using the word reach, there's a resistance to it, just using the word. Our left hand comes down and, sorry, I'm not doing mirror image. Our left hand comes down and protects the elbow. So that's what that movement looks like. Our right hand reaches out and our left hand comes down and protects our elbow. So that happens at the same time that you bring your right toe in. So right toe in and reach. So that's what that looks like from the front. So it's shift left, right toe in and reach. So when I pivoted that right foot, when I turned that right toe in, I pivoted on my heel. So there's like a tiny bit of weight there, but the majority of the weight is on my left leg. So I shift left, right toe in and reach. Now I shift weight to my right leg so I can bring my left foot and left hand back. And so, you know, you think about that hand coming back. Well, let me do a mirror image. Your hand coming from reached out. No, wait. It's weird to go from turned around to forward doing mirror image. Reached out, shift. Okay, so it's this hand that's protecting our elbow, our left hand. It comes back to the hip at the same time that that left foot comes. I call it a prepare step because it's preparing to step out. So that hand that's protecting our elbow comes to our hip at the same time that our left foot comes back. It's like it's connected there. Shift left, right foot in and reach. Shift right, separate, prepare. Step left, bring this right hand around, whatever your comfort level is. It kind of comes by your ear And about then, you start shifting to the left foot as you push that hand out. And when it gets out, remember keeping that soft bend here. We follow step right. Follow step foot gets no weight. It's a period at the end of the movement. It gets no weight. So this left leg is holding our weight for quite some time. So again, brush knee, shift left, right toe in and reach. Shift right, left foot in, or right foot, just do that. Step left, bring this right hand around. Shift left as I push, follow step right. So that's brush knee. It's one of the more difficult moves because we're going from facing one way to facing to our left. And that happens through weight transfer. One weight transfer to one leg, move one foot, weight transfer to the other, move the other foot, weight transfer to the other leg, and move that foot. And so, man, we went from facing the front to facing the left just by shifting weight, moving the other foot, shifting weight, moving the other foot. So we got there with that, back and forth of the weight shift. It wouldn't be very Tai Chi of us if we just kind of hopped over like this. So we have to accomplish it by weight shifting. So again, brush knee, shift left, right foot in and reach. Shift right, separate, prepare. Step left, bring the right hand around. Shift left as I push and follow step. That's brush knee. Play the lute. So I am here. One hand is down by my hip, the other hand's facing out. I'm going to turn my hands and prepare my palms to pass each other, right? So if I kept my hands like this and I passed my hands, my palms would not pass each other. That hand is facing out, this hand's facing down. So I have to turn my hands, and that gets them ready so that when I pass them, it's palms pass, and then I stop when I get to the elbow. And it's all, we're protecting the elbow in the fight that we'll never have. So we just finished brush knee, play the lute, we step back right, turn our hands in preparation to pass. As we shift weight to our right leg, our hands pass. When we get to that elbow, follow step left. So that's play the lute. Now, one reason why the advanced movements are called advanced is because physically you are more advanced if you're able to do them. You have to hold your weight on one leg an awful long time as you move through step, shift, follow step. Our follow step is empty, and that first step we take back is an empty step. So the whole time this leg is holding our weight. That's very challenging, and that's what we do throughout that movement. We empty step it again, and it's still empty. So that back or one leg or the other is holding our weight for quite some time. So you'll probably feel that as we go through the movements. So we got brush knee, shift, step, bring this around, shift as I push, follow step. Play the lute, step back, turn hands, shift as they pass, get to that elbow, and follow step. Now we're ready for parry punch. Our hands do about the same thing that they did with play the lute. They passed each other. The hands passed, and when it got to the elbow, they were done with that movement. So with parry punch, they do the same thing. They just go in a different direction. This way was vertical. Now we're going to go horizontal with that hand on top, See them pass, get to the elbow. Now flip them over. See them pass, get to the elbow. So 3 times in a row, our hands pass and stop at the elbow. The first time it's vertical, and the next 2 times it's horizontal. And so that's what's called a parry. It's interesting to me that when we're vertical, it's called play the lute. When we're horizontal, we call it parry. But isn't that really just, it's pretty much the same move. It's just our hands are in a slightly different position. It's play the lute, parry, parry. So don't let those movements overwhelm you. You're doing the same thing 3 times, just a little bit of variation. So we're first knee, okay, play the lute, step back, turn hands, shift as they pass to the elbow, follow step. All right, so we know parry, and we step left, step and flip. Now we shift and parry, shift and parry, step and flip, shift and parry. So there we did that 3 times. At the end of that shift and parry, the hand that's out becomes your shield or your guard. So it's already extended out, and you're bringing it up to be a guard. Parry, parry, and so it's parry, parry, and punch. Whenever you say and, that's whenever you're making the guard. Your right hand comes back, just like it's getting some out of your back pocket. Y'all know I like to call it flowers. And grab that out of your back pocket, and now you deliver. So it going to the left the first time, your punch or your deliver is your right hand. So it's and it looks like this in the front. Punch. So you see my wrists are hovering over top of each other. I have this fist, and this little hole is on top. Even though you might not really punch that way, that's how this movement is. And punch. And that's where that movement ends. So that's what the hands look like. Parry, or parry, parry, and you see my right hand reaching back, punch or deliver. Okay, so that's what that movement looks like. Here we go. Brush knee, shift, right toe in and reach, shift, separate, prepare, step, bring this right around, shift as I push, follow step, play the lute, step back, turn hands, shift as they pass, get to that elbow, follow step, parry, punch, step and flip, shift and parry, step and flip, shift and parry, step and guard, shift, deliver, follow step. Now we're home free, okay? The last movements are block and close. We step, we're here. We step back, separate our hands, shift, follow step, that's block and close. Push the tiger, step, shift as I push, follow step, and then I come to the front for open and close. So then we do it to the right side. So that's a good review of what our movements are for our advanced 6. We'll go over them again, and we'll keep practicing next week. So it is 10:57. Let's give ourselves a nice fist massage. Y'all let me know if you have any questions. I haven't asked y'all throughout our advanced 6 if I needed to clarify anything. Y'all just let me know. Happy to do it. Happy to talk to you after class. Anytime between now and next Tuesday, just let me know. Class is recorded, rewatch it, look at the tutorials, whatever you need, just let me know or use the resources. All right, create tension and then let it go. Create tension, let it go. Gather and release. Gather and release. Big circle, inhale and exhale. One more. More pollen up my nose. In the end class, we have our right fist, that is our strength. Our left hand fingers together representing our friendship. Our thumb in representing humility. So we have strength, friendship, and humility. And we put those together in mutual respect. We say namaste. Yay! We're getting there, y'all. We're getting there. But thank y'all. I appreciate y'all being such good students. Y'all are awesome. But I hope y'all have a great week.
So are you. So
oh.
are you.
Thank you, Mr. Ken. All right, so I will see Sharita and Gwen Friday, hopefully, Lord's willing. And I think we'll be probably talking about it's raining, won't we, on Friday? After we've had such beautiful sunshine, we'll especially appreciate it knowing more rain is coming. But anyway, have a great week, and I love y'all.
Love y'all. Have a good week.
You too. Bye.
We love you. Thank you.
You're
Bye-bye.
welcome.